Yo, 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 it's your man Tyler here. About to spit this devotional to you loud and clear. Yeah, you know I do it unashamed and without fear. Alright, that's enough. I can't give you too much. I just want to let you guys know that Lecrae and his boys are trying to sign me, but I told them I have to finish this devotional first, so no worries. It's an honor and it's humbling they would ask me, but I really have to stick with what God's asked me to do. So, anyways, I'm pretty crazy if you don't know me already, but I'm just so thankful that you guys are even tuning into this. I was really overwhelmed by the responses and the comments that I got on the last one. So thankful, and just hope you guys continue this journey with me. And last time we talked about discovering God's love for us, and man, it's still every day it's learning how much He truly loves us, and how He would pick me and how He would pick you, and it just blows my mind thinking about it. Um, you know, we were the least deserving, and God said, "Hey, I didn't come for the ones that thought they were righteous, but ones that knew they were sinners." And man, it blows me away. Anyways, today we're gonna talk about just uh, just God's plan for our life and how He calls us to do amazing, great things. How He is calling us to do amazing, great things, and how we can sometimes be insecure, we can have doubts, we can have just rough times where we don't believe the call that's on our life, and it's normal. I mean, every day I doubt. So, anyways, we're going to go into Exodus 3. We're going to start in verse 11, and I'm going to start it out. But Moses protested to God, "Who am I to appear before Pharaoh? Who am I to lead the people of Israel out of Egypt?" How many times have we asked ourselves that? Who am I, God? Who am I? Who am I to make that movie? Who am I to make that song? Who am I to preach that sermon? Who am I to love that person? Who am I? God answered, "I will be with you." That's so good. "And this is your sign that I am the one who has sent you." Two verses later, God replied to Moses, "I am who I am. Say this to the people of Israel." Man, only God can say that. Only God. I could never try to say that without getting punched. Anyways, we're going to go over to chapter 4, verse 10. This is Moses again pleading with the Lord. "Oh Lord, I'm not very good with words. I never have been, and I'm not now. Even though you have spoken to me, I get tongue-tied and my words get tangled." Here we go. It says, focusing on our weaknesses, focusing on our insecurities. Who told him that, anyways? Who do you think told him that he's never been good with his words? Um, Maybe somebody growing up had told him. Maybe somebody growing up has told you that you're not good at something, that you're not going to make it, that you're never going to be good enough to sing that song, that you're never going to be good enough to write that book, you're never going to be good enough to make a difference in this world. Then the Lord asked Moses, "Who makes a person's mouth? Who decides whether people speak or do not speak, hear or do not hear, see or do not see? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go, I will be with you." Whoo! Man, it's so good. God's God's responses to our excuses is saying, "Just go. I'm gonna be with you." It's so good. Anyways, I'm gonna go over to Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. "The Lord gave me this message. I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. Before you were born, I set you apart." Tyler, put your name there. Before you were born, I set you apart. "O sovereign Lord," I said, "I can't speak for you. I'm too young." The Lord replied, "Don't say I'm too young, for you must go wherever I send you and say whatever I tell you, and don't be afraid of the people, for I will be with you and will protect you. I, the Lord, have spoken." Then the Lord reached out and touched my mouth and said, "Look, I have put my words in your mouth. Today I appoint you to stand up." I think, often we struggle, with new challenges because we lack self-confidence. Look at this kid here. He didn't have any ability, really, training, experience. Jeremiah thought he was too young and inexperienced to do what God had asked him to do. Um, and I think those feelings of inadequacy, like Moses and Jeremiah, can sometimes, you know, keep us from obeying God. And it's funny, the only thing that God really says is, I will be with you. And I don't know, that to me is just, it's hard. It's hard to really to think, okay, I'm going to step out because I know God's going to be with me. But it's a matter of trusting God. It's a matter of trusting in God and not trusting in people. I think we built up this inadequacy. We built up this fear. When God calls us to do something, we're so afraid of what people are going to think. We're so afraid we're going to fail. We're so afraid we're going to fall short. But God's just saying, if I've asked you to do something, I'm going to be with you. And think about it. If the God who created heavens, He created the earth, He created you, He created the person that's going to be influenced by you, He created, okay, you get the point. He created everything. If He's with you and He's called you, you best believe something amazing is going to happen. And that's what God's trying to show Jeremiah and Moses. He's trying to show me and you. It's not it's not about it's not about you. It's about me being with you. And that's what's going to change people. Not your words, not your giftings, not your talents. Yeah, those are all tools to get to there, but the bottom line is you won't truly be effective until you realize that I am with you. And I just think it's so amazing. God is just, He's a G. 2 Peter 1:3, it talks about, God has given us everything that we need. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier. Um, the best example I can think of for this is, God gives us a forest, a forest full of trees. And you can look at the forest and you can look at the trees, and in one person's eye, they might look at it and say, wow, it's a tree. Um, I don't like it. I'd rather be in the mountains. And another person looks at that forest and says, man, I see, I see houses. I see books. I see, I see bridges. I see buildings. I see wooden cabins. You know what I mean? Kinda like, really, it's really it's your perspective. You're either going to go into it believing that God's either going to use you and He's going to be with you, or you're going to shrink back because of fear, because of doubt, because of insecurity. So anyways, this is getting long. I feel like I'm kind of just blabbering, but most of all, I just wanted to encourage you that God is with you in everything that you do. And if He's called you, He's given you everything you need. Remember, He formed you in your mother's womb. He knew exactly what you'd go through. He knew exactly what you need. So if you don't got it, if you don't feel like you got what you need, where are you going to go? Go to the one who created you, God, and He's going to bring that. He's going to bring that. God is with you. Don't fear. Don't doubt. Walk strong in your calling. Walk strong in what He's called you to do. I'm just preaching to myself here. Thank y'all so much for listening. I hope y'all got at least one sentence that you could apply to your life. I really believe God has amazing things for you. It's just a matter of us stepping into it and walking it out. Just step into what God has for you. No matter if you feel like you're the worst person for the job. Believe me, time after time, I've thought that I was the worst person for the job, but God just showed me up and showed me it's not about you, Tyler. It's about me working through you, and it's in those weaknesses that people can see Christ because they know it's not you, it's God. So the next time you feel like God can't use you, remember Noah was a drunk, Abraham was too old, Jacob was a liar, Joseph was abused, Moses had a stuttering problem. Remember Gideon? He was afraid when God called him. Rahab was a prostitute. Jeremiah and Timothy were too young. Jonah ran from God. John the Baptist ate bugs, yo. That's crazy. Anyways, and most of all, the one that I can relate with most, Peter, he denied Christ. Paul was killing Christians before he used God. God has amazing things for you. Thank you so much for listening. Love y'all. Peace.